Welcome to Evolve, Mastery for Leading a New World, with CEO and award-winning author Yvette Bethel. This podcast is dedicated to supporting leaders with a variety of solutions to build trust, inspire authentic change, and improve morale within your organization. Learn how to grow your people, build your culture, and transform your results. Welcome to Evolve, Mastery for Leading a New World. I am Yvette Bethel, and today's episode is entitled, In Pursuit of Empowerment. We always hear about the importance of empowering our employees. In reality, it's not clear that this is even possible. Is empowerment something leaders can do for someone else? Or do employees have to decide to empower themselves? From my perspective, empowerment cannot be given to an employee. Instead, circumstances needed for empowerment to happen can be created by leaders. Susan Heathfield elaborates on the topic of empowerment in this way. She says, empowerment is the process of enabling or authorizing an individual to think, behave, take action, and control work and decision-making in autonomous ways. It is the state of feeling self-empowered to take control of your own destiny. True leaders seek to demonstrate the behaviors necessary for igniting the empowerment within their team members. Their leadership styles contribute to the overall culture of their organizations. Here are a few examples of the components of culture you can pay attention to as a leader to ensure you're not unwittingly disempowering your team. Firstly, let's take a look at decision-making power. If your organization is highly structured with all the decision-making power centralized at the top, it's not possible to develop an empowered team until this changes. In this type of culture, the owners or executives make all the decisions, and even if they allow employee input, there's a subtle or sometimes obvious way they stage manage the message and communication process so the team arrives at the original intent of the owners or executives. Let's now take a look at organizational politics. If your organization is highly political, with employees and managers jockeying for status, opportunities, and power, this can undermine your ability as a leader to create an environment that supports empowerment. For example, if a leader is given a project to complete, and a highly political co-worker is appointed to the team responsible for implementing the project, that co-worker can sabotage the leader, other co-workers, and the project by demonstrating undermining behaviors. Now let's take a look at communication. It is not possible to empower employees if they don't even know what they're supposed to be doing and if they have no voice. If your organization has impaired top-down and bottom-up communication channels, there are probably managers who hoard information or discourage input for fear of their deficiencies being exposed. Leaders who are not effective communicators retain relevant information and perpetuate fear, tending to cover up so they can protect or build their status or brand by camouflaging their incompetence or mistakes and by hindering the development of employees they perceive as threats. When communication is a challenge, employees are forced to wait for non-communicating leaders to make all the decisions because the employees don't want to create any negative exposure for the leader or themselves by making a mistake or by taking initiative. The focus of the team shifts from achieving results to covering up in order to portray the leader in the best possible light. This is a significant risk for organizations from the perspectives of employee engagement, customer satisfaction, reputational risk, and market risk, to name a few. So here are 6 tips for creating a platform for empowerment. First, Develop your people so you can release control and decentralize decision-making. If you do decide to delegate additional responsibility or decision-making power to employees, you can release control in small quantities to build their skills, confidence, and trust. Next, create an environment that will support innovation and allow room for error. If employees are afraid to make mistakes, they will not be open to taking the risks associated with being creative. Thirdly, too much criticism creates fear and reluctance. Flip the script and reinforce positive behaviors more often. If employees are reassured that they are on the right track and you provide coaching and mentoring instead of constant criticism, some employees will surprise you with their growth. Fourthly, as a leader, ask your support staff for input and be open to letting them generate and implement creative solutions that are different than yours. Next, be sure your expectations for results are clearly articulated as you release the reins. You want to support the success of your team, not create a got you culture where the leader is constantly pointing out mistakes in order to justify why you're maintaining control. And finally, check in with employees periodically to support their progress. Be sure not to micromanage them in the process. It's important to use wisdom and patience when applying these tips because not everyone has the same competence or confidence to step into their empowerment immediately. A primary risk why employees may be unwilling to accept empowerment is because they don't trust you as a leader. Too often I hear leaders complain about persons who will not accept additional responsibility. In each case I've witnessed like this, the leader demonstrated one or more unconscious behaviors that continue to sabotage trust. Empowered employees are critical thinkers, decisive, imaginative, results-driven, and accountable. They can make their leaders look really, really good. This is because they're willing to go the extra mile and take initiative. They are inclined to do this because they feel safe and respected. Trust, competence, and effective communication are at the heart of an empowered team. So as a leader, it is your job to spend time doing the things you need to do to build and sustain potential. Thank you for joining me at Evolve, Mastery for Leading the New World. I invite you to join me this and every Monday for a new podcast. In the meantime, remember, always continue to evolve.
Thanks for listening to Evolve, Mastery for Leading a New World. Visit YvetteBethel.com to learn more about Yvette's leadership programs and to download her free gift, Success Tips for Igniting Your Career.